Okay. Here we go. Hi, I'm Nana. Welcome to my channel. Today I have the pleasure of having my creative partner in crime.
Hello.
None other than the wonderful Ivy.
Hi. How you doing? What's up?
We're gonna be talking about what it's like to be a creative
Yeah.
in academic spaces.
Yeah.
Just a quick backstory. How did we meet? How do we know each other, basically?
Okay, so we've actually known of each other for a really long time. So both of us grew up in Geneva.
Yeah.
We were raised here. You left quite early.
Yeah.
When you were
Like 15, 14?
Okay, yeah, because I did throughout my high school until I left for uni. So we had always heard of each other. We had mutual friends.
Yeah.
I also feel like the African community in Geneva here is quite small.
Yeah, so you recognize people by face.
Exactly. So you kind of always hear of someone, but you don't necessarily hang out with them. So I always heard of Nana all the time. And then finally, so I did my uni, went to Canada, whatever, came back here while I was working, and decided to apply to LSE, London School of Economics. And finally, when I got in, I was speaking to a friend, Kwashi, shout out to you.
Hey, what's
Hey. And we were speaking, and I was just telling him about my experience and like what I wanted to do. Kind of nervous to go to London because it's not my favorite city.
Yeah.
That's another topic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was kind of excited for the program, but obviously I didn't know anyone. And I don't know, when you're like 23, and you have to kind of like make friends again, you're kind of like nervous.
Really hard.
Yeah, and you've already done it, so you know how long it takes to like get to a really like comfortable level with people. And he was like, oh my god, I think Nana's going there. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I think she literally just applied. And I was like, do you mean applied for like the year after or right now? He's like, no,
like,
she's
right
going
now.
right now.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my god. And he kept going on and on and on about how we'd get along, how we'd be good friends, we're in the same vibe, and we're doing like media production and all of that. And I was like, okay, obviously you don't want to be like, hey, so now we're friends when we get there. So I was like, oh, like I hope we'll be friends or whatever, or like get to know each other. And voila, here we are.
What was hard about being in that space as a creative?
Okay, so I feel like I went from a uni that was like kind of like encouraging, and you know, every school has its issues, but like literally had studios, you know, open to us, like editing rooms, cameras, all that stuff. So I went from that to obviously working and then having access to that, to, you know, its own limitation, but having access to no access at all.
Yeah.
So I found that like, and mind you, LSE's like has the best media and comms department in the UK or something like that, or one of the best, and even worldwide or what, you know, I don't think it's a big importance to know which ranking, but it's still kind of like,
quite up
yeah,
there.
it's an elite. So I thought, okay, obviously media and communications, media, you have to make media, there must be some type of room or something where you can do it, right?
Products,
Nothing at all.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really disappointing. I thought it wasn't very encouraging, especially because there's so much to do, and like so many important people come to LSE, and I feel like there's
so many opportunities for that kind of work. Yeah.
So I don't know, I found that was sad. So I think the first challenge was access. So if I didn't have my own camera, like my own gear, like I wouldn't be able to do anything.
It's
yeah,
true. It's true.
So I think access is like my first thing.
The first thing. I think for me, I like feeling smart. I like feeling like I'm, you know, I know everything or whatever. And so LSE was a space that sort of challenged me in that way. So, you know, in like my creative work, I try and do the most that I can, try and be the best in that way.
Yeah.
But I think LSE was a space that kind of like challenged me because there were clearly very intelligent people who sometimes might not necessarily take, like, you know, media and comms as seriously as we do.
True.
You know, and so sometimes in those spaces it was hard to sort of find my voice and be like, actually, no, what I do is important, you know?
Finding other people like us too.
Oh, true.
I don't think there were many who like were really into like media production and things like that. Like I felt like we all we're studying communications, but from so many different backgrounds and perspectives. And I think actually that enhanced like my creative eye, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think like there's just so many things you need to take into account, and sometimes you're all about the edits and the cuts, and it's just sometimes it's the narration and where that video or production is gonna be placed. There's just things like
telling the story, what that means for them. Yeah.
So I think like now I'm just much more intricate in my mind. So I feel like now I'm much more detailed. I know how to get to things and how to think about things. But I do think it was kind of sad to not see as many people, you know, trying to like create stuff. So
you basically kind of touched on the next question, which was like, what were some of the benefits of being in that space? You know, and I definitely agree with you in terms of like the way it's made me understand storytelling. And how, like, whose voice is important, understanding who gets to control what we see, what we understand of people. So definitely, I really enjoyed it.
And also just being critical. You know what I mean? And critical, because obviously, so our major, whatever you want to call it, our master's was global media and communications. And I think like for some people it's like, all right, what does that mean? But it's literally, when you think of media comms, think about it. If you're like studying in a specific area of the world, media and comms would probably be centered, probably will look at international perspectives, but will really center itself around the area you're in. Right? So I think what was really special about LSE is that it's global. So to its extent, because it had its challenges,
obviously
the curriculum.
It had its limitations.
But we really looked at how the global north can produce and look at media, but also how the global south
can also do that.
And it's not always like the global north, colonialism, oh my god, you know, like sometimes you're so into it, and like obviously there's like grounds to be so, you know, upfront about these things, but it's also kind of reverse, you know, the narrative.
You also get to understand the way the global south projects itself, the moves that the global south is making, the way they use media and comms to sort of narrate and understand the world.
Or the diaspora, you know, us who aren't specifically in the continent 24/7. We could also be part of that narrative that, you know, sheds light on Africa the wrong way. You know, it can happen.
It's true,
so I think that kind of like shook me, because I always thought I was on the right side of things, you know, to some extent. And I think sometimes you just get in the space and you're like, crap, there's still a lot of work to do within myself and just within, you know, our community as well. So.
Here are our tips on how to conquer an academic space when you're a creative. So I think one thing that we mentioned yesterday was, you know, sort of making space for your creative side hustle. Because you can really get caught up. You can really get caught up in like the academic side.
Oh my god.
Get caught up in your readings, and you sort of forget to sort of exercise your creative muscle. You know, and so that was one thing that I think we also definitely took time. You know, we had Wednesday pictures.
Yes. Was it Thursday? It was Thursday. It was we take pictures, and we take pictures either for like our Instagram or even just for fun or for my blog or stuff like that, just to like have fun and keep at it. And I also feel like obviously when you have so many deadlines, like I get it, like we get it, like
you know, sometimes it's hard to do.
It's so hard. Like your schedule is so full and busy. And it's like on to the next, and it's like it keeps piling up, and you're like, when will I ever have time? Just make time.
Honestly,
literally just make time. And sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm gonna do a full weekend of shoots and get some models and get like a concept, and you get whoa, you get so hyped. You don't even need to do that. Take an hour in your week. Walk around or go to like an exhibition or an area that you love. Call up a friend. You don't have to have a whole crew, makeup, like it's not that deep. You just walk around and have fun and shoot. And literally that will make your week so much better, especially when you have a lot of deadlines.
I really look forward to our little photo dates. It was so fun.
It was so fun. We'd be like, hey, see you Thursday.
See you Thursday. But like even you also touched on it, like so it's even collaboration.
Yes.
So I think also sometimes as a creative you can get sort of stuck in your own creative bubble. So I think it's good to collaborate with other people to sort of spark your creativity and see other viewpoints and perspectives. Working with other people makes you create something greater. So I really love our Ubuntu project.
That was fun.
You know, like can you imagine we shot against a white wall? You know what I mean?
Like if y'all knew, I mean maybe you'll show the pictures, but like if y'all knew how we actually did it, like
wow.
Just a little bit of shea butter, coconut butter, and like
a couple earrings.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, it was fun. It was fun, and that was like it took like 2 hours, not even
that long.
And we're a lot for that shoot, but like that was quick and easy. And then obviously you have like the post production out of it, but it was just so much fun. And I think also like the creative field is very competitive.
Yeah,
very competitive. People are a bit egocentric. It's like I can do this. I don't want to share my skills. It's a bit of a tough field. You know what I mean? Like. Sometimes you'll ask a friend, oh, can you show me around Photoshop? And people will be a bit reluctant, like, I don't want to show you like what I've worked on. And I think that's kind of sad because obviously we all have like our different opinions and just ideas of what we want to do creatively. So if I know how to edit some sort of like or color grade or something just like you, doesn't mean I'm gonna copy your work. You know what I mean?
It's true,
It's just like, who knows? Maybe we can do something together and it'll be even better than just staying in your little corner and having everything for yourself, you know?
So I think, sharing is great. Actually.
Sharing is great, but it's not a field that likes to share though.
It's true.
And I just feel like now maybe with like social media and YouTube, you can find a lot of videos where people give tips and stuff, and thank God for that.
Honestly.
That's how I've learned most of my stuff.
Yeah, so that's the third tip.
Yes. Let's actually.
So basically, so for the third tip is just keep learning, you know? Go everywhere. YouTube is like the hub of classes to learn, to develop your skill, to make yourself better. You know, there's so many people that we watch. She's given me quite a few people to look at, to watch, to learn from. And it's just really amazing what you can teach yourself nowadays, you know?
And I feel like some people are like, oh, I don't know where to start. I literally sometimes just Google, I don't know, Adobe...
Basics.
Adobe Basics, or literally Google is that amazing. Sometimes I'm like editing a video and I'm like, how to get the cut, you know, like I say something so detailed and there will always be someone who has the same struggle, and it's an Adobe forum, and I'm like, thank God. And I read through it and 5 minutes I'm good. And I won't lie, sometimes it takes like a good whole day sometimes to figure out one thing, but once you've done it and you've learned by yourself, it's never gonna get out of here, you know? And I feel like internet is your best friend, Google is your best friend, YouTube will show you visually, it's not even only forums, like get everything you can. Some people have subscriptions also.
Oh really?
Yeah, you have like lynda.com, that's
I've
pretty
heard of
good.
Lynda.
Yeah, Lynda, and there's so many others. I feel like Lynda is actually kind of like the fathers of these subscriptions. But like it's so good, and like it helps you because then you kind of graduate and it gives you a certificate, which you can add on your LinkedIn. And then it's like, and like a little tip here, and then some recruiters will look at that, especially if you're in our field. So if you're in our field, skills. It's really so if you can find like certificates or like a day thing, you can also do Google AdWords, and like Google literally on Gmail gives you a certification, and it takes like 3 hours.
That's amazing.
So it's like small stuff like that. Like obviously you're doing school and stuff, but if you take 2-3 hours out of your week to just do a quick certification for Adobe Creative Cloud or whatever, then you got that in the bag. And then plus your master's or bachelor's, you have like 10 certificates. Like I had a friend who had like 25 certificates.
Wow, that's amazing.
But it took her like just a few days in the week, you know?
Wow.
So
yeah, so I also think that kind of touches on like the last thing that I kind of wanted to bring up was sort of using discipline for your creativity, right? Because I think as creative people, you can be like, I can switch it on anytime. I can do it all the time, you know?
Well, it took us some time to shoot this video.
Honestly, but you know what I mean? Like, so honestly, like, I think one thing that we have to learn is discipline, right? So when you say you're gonna do something, you go and do it. When you say you're gonna take an hour out every day to go and take a picture or something, you go and do it. You know, like, it's kind of like exercising. You have to go every day, be disciplined so you get healthier. So for us, we have to go every day so we get better. You know what I mean? And that's something that we're all trying to get through.
Which helps if you're collaborating. Because if you're collaborating, accountability, you know? Like someone's just gonna be like, hey, where are you? Or if you have people waiting on you for a shoot, you can't just cancel last minute. Or there's just something about motivating each other. Actually, even our first days, it's like we'd motivate each other. No, that's me. Or like, just even 40 minutes, where are you? Like, that would help. Otherwise, I'll just go in my bed and sleep or, you know, lazy around. So I just feel like that really helped to have a team and collaborate again.
That's really good. Oh my God, we've given them such wonderful tips.
I know. Don't be afraid. It sounds maybe daunting, but academics and creativity can mesh.
Yeah.
You know, you just have to make it mesh. Don't rely on your major or what you're studying, because it will never give you everything. So there's really something out of you that you personally have to go and get. Like if you're not a go-getter to that extent, like it's gonna be really hard, and that's when you're gonna start figuring out like, why am I doing this? Is this worth it? Why am I spending all this money? Because there's really something in academics that can really teach you a lot too. And I think that's probably narrative and just thinking of different perspectives. So don't think that they're completely separate. But also, in the same way, if you don't have the opportunity to go in a big school or even study, or you don't have the funds, also, I would really, really, really stress that that's fine too.
That's fine too.
Like most of my teachers in my undergrad hadn't even done like higher studies. It's just through like their experience, and they worked for like Canadian TV and all that stuff. They became professors, but like they didn't have all these PhDs and all that stuff, you know, especially in our field. So I just also want to tell people who don't have the means or the opportunity, maybe school isn't for them, then I would really stress experience. Go out, work, own your craft, work on the side, get certificates, get diplomas online, work your skills, and go out there and get internships, volunteer. I don't know what the crap, but it's literally like, because people tell me, if you're not studying, then what are you doing? Like you don't have an excuse, right? So you have to have something that people who are in school don't have, which is experience.
It's true,
right?
It's true.
Obviously, we can do like part-time and stuff, but I think there's something that they have an advantage on. They have more experience.
It's
so
true.
Never feel like you're less of, or oh, I'm not that good. It doesn't mean anything. The same way it doesn't mean anything for us if we can't work 24/7, you know?
It's true.
Yeah.
Honestly,
That's it.
You know, thank you so much for sharing your insights.
Thank you.
Every time I talk to you, I see your brilliance.
Oh, please.
You know? Honestly. Like, I'm so glad that I met you, because I mean, in terms of our creative vision, in terms of what we want to produce, like we're very much similar.
Very aligned.
And your passion and your brilliance really inspires me. So I'm very glad to like know you.
I know.
I'm really happy that we got to do this.
Yeah.
And
more coming.
Obviously. Duh. Yeah. Duh. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, peace, love, and prosperity. Bye.